The history of black people in the United States has been a long struggle, from the days of slavery to the hard-fought battles of the civil rights movement in the 1960s and now to the White House. As Barack Obama prepares to place his hand on Abraham Lincoln's Bible and swear the oath of office, he is undoubtedly making history.
In 1862, President Abraham Lincoln signed a bill ending slavery after decades of efforts by activists to end the practice. Some 8.5 months later, Lincoln issued his Emancipation Proclamation.
10 years later, 1873, is the first official participation of African Americans in the presidential inauguration. From that period to where you actually have a person occupying the Oval Office, it is simply amazing.
But the Emancipation Proclamation did not automatically mean freedom. Life remained very difficult for the former slaves and their descendants in the century that followed. Eventually, a new generation of black leaders emerged into prominence after the Second World War, including Martin Luther King Jr. They demanded racial and economic equality for African Americans.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
The next 4 decades saw several African American civil rights leaders attempt to run for the highest political office in the land, with limited success. Political analysts believe Americans saw something new in Barack Obama, the young senator from Illinois.
We have gone from having African Americans who were presidential candidates to having a presidential candidate who happened to be African American.
Obama paid tribute to Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during his acceptance speech for the Democratic nomination in Denver.
That 45 years ago today brought Americans from every corner of this land to stand together on a mall in Washington before Lincoln's memorial and hear a young preacher from Georgia speak of his dream.
In an election that saw more than 131 million voters cast ballots, the most ever, there was also historically high voter turnout among African Americans. Polls suggest the general public has confidence in Obama's ability to lead and unify the country. 139 years after blacks were granted the right to vote, an African American is moving into the White House on January 20th, 2009. Michael Manning, CCTV.